there, welcome back to the vlog. So I just came back from a week in Cuba. It's not exactly the once-in-a-lifetime trip for North Americans that it would be for European people, in the same way that the Costa del Sol is for Americans whilst being practically in the backyard for the British. Cuba is an interesting place. There's still no flights direct from the USA to Cuba, and so there's no American influences like McDonald's or KFC. This is one reason that we went when we did now, because at some point this will be opened up to American tourism, and at that point Cuba will be changed to cater to American diets, American tastes and American culture, so that they can get to the American dollars. The island is still very socialist. Everyone is equal regardless of race. Everybody is treated the same. There have been a lot of changes over recent years, what with the death of Fidel Castro. And when I asked some of the natives in Cuba, how did they feel about Raul Castro taking over, the general consensus was that whilst Fidel Castro was called the leader and acted as a leader, Raul is only a leader by name, but he's not really a leader as a person. Pretty much everybody that I spoke to came up with a pretty similar comment. There are two currencies in Cuba. You have the Cuban peso and the Cuc, which is the Cuban convertible peso. And these run at a ratio of 24:1. So the Cuc is basically $1 US, it's pegged to the US dollar, but the Cuban peso, which the locals use, it's 1/24 of that. We visited a couple of real homes. It was good to show our kids what privilege they have growing up in Canada and seeing how other people live and seeing what their lifestyles are like. At these people's homes, we ate sugarcane, we fed crocodiles, we held baby hamsters. We rode around in classic cars, in our case we had a 1956 Ford Custom Line. We went to deserted beaches. We saw wicked sunsets. We took catamaran rides across the sea. We swam with dolphins, cradled them like babies, and even had a family water fight against a dolphin, who beat us flippers down. The hotel we stayed at was the Fiesta Americana, which used to be known as the Blau Costa Verde, but due to a couple of amalgamations it's changed name. The food was good, although as with everywhere that you go, some tourists complained. The pools were good. Again, some people complained. The internet connectivity was not great, so I just disconnected for a week. The markets that we went to, and we went to several of them, they pretty much had the same stuff everywhere. It's like one or two places put out the items to be sold, and then these guys just basically act as a retailer for those items. And so if you go to one market, you see what they've got, you've pretty much seen what's going to be at every market. The people are super friendly. We got invited to, as I said, their real homes, and got to see their goats and turkeys and cows and things. And this was very humbling. The average wage is 25 to 30 convertible pesos per month. Everyone in Cuba is quite poor. Even if they can save money, there is often nothing to spend it on. Things like medicine and medical supplies are in short supply. You can use a service such as Not Just Tourists, where if you are willing to take over medical supplies, they will hook you up with a clinic in Cuba to be able to offload those supplies and be able to get them to the people who need them most. We chose not to do that on this particular visit. Instead, we just took the stuff that we knew that they wanted and we gave it to the people directly. Also, for people like the cleaning staff at the hotel, we left kids' clothing, soaps, shoes, hats, and the all-important Tylenol. The airport leaving was not great. This is probably the worst part of the whole experience. We spent far too long there, and I really wasn't too happy about that. So my conclusion is basically go to Cuba before it gets opened up to the USA, because it will change. At present, what you're seeing is Cuba as it is, as opposed to when it opens up to the Americans, it will be the Americanized Cuba as they embrace everything American, and it will basically lose its charm. It will turn into any other Caribbean island. You'll get Coca-Cola, you'll get everything else all of a sudden, and right now it is nice to see somewhere as it was. Anyway, that's it for today. If you like these vlogs, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.